out this evening. This is a very informal occasion. I asked some of my dearest friends on Facebook to come and join me. Some faces may look very familiar and some may not. We have some pretty heavy hitters on the panel this evening. Some of them you've seen on other Hangouts, and others quietly behind the scenes are a bunch of little powerhouses. I personally don't do these Hangouts because I'm camera shy. You wouldn't think it from the way I talk on Facebook, but just I'm a big mouth on Facebook, but when you put me in front of a camera, I'm like, don't look at me. So I know Travis has to be somewhere this evening. He's a really busy man. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself in case you already don't know, and then we'll take it over to Travis. Like I said, my name is Adriana, and I started back with Empower Network about 6 months, when they were about 6 months old, and they were going through a couple of issues, which every new company goes through, obviously. I had started with a sponsor, and to tell you the truth, I expected everything from her. Okay, well, here's my credit card, now do with me what you will. Mold me. So obviously, you know, she gave me assignments. I didn't do them. She led me to the right way to do things. I said, no, you do it for me. Needless to say, I quit, which not many people know, and I think this is the first time somebody has enough courage to say, I quit Empower and live to tell about it. I did go ahead and start another company for about 5 months, and all the while kind of sneaking a peek at what you guys were doing. And I'm like, why is it that every time I see somebody get in and I watch them and I just shadow what they're doing, they're rising to the top like the cream of the crop? And the people that I had started with in Empower, they were starting to get more success. Oh my God, I got #1 on Google. Oh my God, I got my first sign up. Oh my goodness, my first $1,500 day. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's something to this Empower Network stuff. Maybe I got to take another look at it. Maybe I matured a little. So I left the other company, and I quietly came in. I didn't tell anybody. I was just going about my business on Facebook. Started with a $25 level, and I said, you know, I keep listening to these Empower Hour calls, and if you're not in, if you're just dipping your toes in the water, then you still have reservations. You still have a plan B. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do everything opposite what I did the first time around. I'm going to get in. I'm going to be serious. I'm going to do what they're teaching me to do, and I'm not going to be the know-it-all. I'm not going to do it my way, because my way got me where? Nowhere. So I put my pride aside, took the chip off my shoulder, and I'm going to go faster now because I want to hear from you guys too. I got all in, and here's my bracelet. And there's a big difference this time around. It's I feel like I matured 20 years. It's a different way of thinking. When I used to see Dave and Dave talking, I was like, who are these two people? They're so weird. How are they going to teach me to be successful in business when they're barefoot on stage calling people wussies, and I was acting all missensitive, like, you know, I'm a teetotaler, and I can't hear badass, which I could say much worse in my own home. So I think I was just using all that as an excuse. And I put all that aside. I put all my misconceptions aside, and when I started really listening to what David Wood, David Sharp, John Moroz, Krista, Felicia, Melissa, Travis, what all of you guys were saying, I was hearing a different thing. I wasn't just hearing words, I was getting a message. So, I mean, what a difference. Now look at me, I'm on Google Hangouts. I have a team. My team is getting a team. I had people at the Chicago event. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So I'm going to stop right here because now I'm like really feeling my oats. And I'm going to let Travis go ahead and tell us the story. Travis is really a superstar. I see him everywhere now. So Travis, take it away, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, first and foremost, thank you for inviting me to Hangout. I'm honored to be on this panel of badasses, just on the same mission and the same, goal, to empower people and free people from whatever situation they want to be in. For me, my story, I started Empower about 6 months ago, and within that 6 months, my life has completely transformed. And I'm gonna just take it back a little a little further. I moved out here to California when I was 15 years old. I'm from Panama City, Panama, and one thing that I always knew when I moved up here was, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to own my own business. I always wanted to do my own thing because for me, working the typical 9-to-5 job, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me personally, I didn't see it didn't make sense to me, and especially with my goals and my ambitions. I knew that wasn't the route for me to take. So I've been on a mission ever since. I try to open up my own business. How costly that can be for people that have tried investing in their own business. I tried that. I tried several home-based businesses. I had a little bit of success, but nothing compared to what I've experienced here. I mean, I just wrote a blog post that I just surpassed $20,000 in earnings in Empower Network, and that just took me 6 months to do. I mean, that's unheard of in this industry. Usually it takes you a couple of years to even amount to that kind of income, or if that a whole lot of people personally on a personal basis, because I've seen that happen in other network marketing deals where people have success fast, but then the reason why they have success because they have like a huge list or a huge following from before it developed over the past. But in here, I came in here with zero list, nobody on my list, and I became zero to hero in just 6 months. But like I said, taking it back, I moved out here when I was 15. Went through the whole motions of high school, did the college thing for a little bit. Dropped out, college dropout. Got into sales, for a little bit. I was doing car sales, and I did a little bit of cell phone sales. But then I just didn't like the hustle, and I was working a lot of hours and just making just a little bit of money. I remember I was putting in about 80 hours a week in order to make a $5,000 income, just a couple years ago. So I said, let me just get like a typical job. So I went and got a job as an IT technician. And I worked that for 5 years, and the reason why I smile when I say 5 years, because I didn't realize how much time has passed by and how much I missed in life because I was working that job. And for that job, I had to be away from my family and my close friends. I had to move away, 5 hours, a drive to in order to work that job. And every time I went to that job, I always felt like I was confined. I had to, check in. I had to, ask for a vacation. Sometimes I wouldn't get it. And not only that, but the biggest thing, income. Income, bars us from doing the things that we want to do. A lot of people talk about the money and whatnot, but the money is just a resource. To be able to do what you want and be able to have that freedom lifestyle in order, to take your life to the next level. And not only that, but help people as well. So fast forward to Empower, one thing that I set out was an intention. Intention was to make $3 grand within the first 3 months, and lo and behold, I hit that goal in exact 3 months. I said, what, let me try this again. Let me try this whole mindset thing again and see if I can do it again. So what, five grand in a month. I hit 5 grand. And to me that is so amazing, And matter of fact, I was on Hangout yesterday. We're talking about mindset and how mindset is so important, to the success of your business. So if you're out there and you're listening, and you're probably wondering, oh, what's the secret, or what are you guys doing? The one thing I know we all do, we focus on mindset and developing our mind on a consistent basis. That's why in Empower Network, part of the 8 core commitments are, read daily, listen to daily audio, and make sure you go to your training and whatnot. But that's the number one key thing that has helped me, progress in my business. So back to my 5 grand, hit my 5 grand goal. So I said, what, I'm gonna quit my job. And I know that that's huge for some people. It's a huge leap, for some, I know for me, it's something I always wanted to do. So I said, you know what, let me quit my job because I'm confident in my team, in my prosperity team, and Empowered Network to be able to do that. So I did. I ended up quitting my job. Now I'm making double of what I was making at my 9 to 5, working way less. I mean, I only work 2 to 4 hours a day, and anything I do extra is because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy making videos and editing them, and just little stuff here and there. So I think it's just so amazing that a person like me, with well, I say with zero skill set, because I'm a newbie to this industry. I just came in, you know. Yeah, I've done the companies before Empower Network, but it wasn't that long. I got into the industry around July, and then I didn't know nothing. I was doing things the old school way. I was doing home meetings, three-way calls, and all that. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting the results that I was looking for. It wasn't until I plugged into the Empower system, and that's when my life just transformed. I just listened to exactly what my mentors are saying. And you know what? The cool thing about Prosperity Team that I love so much, and the reason why I feel that so many people fail in this industry, is because they don't have a mentor to follow. Seeing Prosperity Team, we have many mentors that you can follow. We have a daily mastermind that you can plug into, and it tells you step by step what you need to do. And that's the same mastermind that I use that has gotten me to where I'm at today. So that's the number one key thing. And I know this hangout we're talking about the things that work for us in our business. And so I'm gonna just go over just a couple of things. I know the first thing is first and foremost mindset. Gotta have the right mindset. You gotta have the right belief system in order to propel yourself forward. Also, I'm creating content, providing value. I listened to David Sharp audio the other day, and he was talking about providing value. And I was thinking, like, man, we do it subconsciously, but to hear it again, you're like, yeah, I need to provide more value. So you know what, I'm gonna put on the camera, do some videos, write a couple blog posts, and just keep doing that consistently. Because every time I provide value to the world, I always get back. And it's just so amazing how that works. What you put out is what you get. So one thing that works for me too, is video, and then you can see my camera in the background. But I shoot videos, frequently, and I put it out to the world, and that's one thing that is helping me. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much my story and what I do, to be successful online. Is there anything else that you want me to touch on?
No, I think that's great. I mean, I just wanted to kind of bring you guys out and share a little bit about yourselves and what really works for you. And I think it's really important what you said about Prosperity Team. The great thing about it is when you're new, and there's so much information. I mean, what's great about Empower is that there's so much information from the beginner to the most advanced marketer, SEO specialist. Everybody can be challenged. All the information is there for you to find it and look for it. But when you're new and you have I know when I go to a restaurant and the menu is too long, I get overwhelmed. I would rather you order for me or I'll walk out. And what's great with Prosperity Team is that they give you a menu to follow. And
Yep.
If you can't order your appetizer and salad and dessert, they'll tell you, this is what you need to do. If you're stuck and frozen like a deer today, copy, swipe. I even give you a video. Mike Hobbs does videos for us. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm not inspired for the day, and I'll use his stuff, And the most amazing thing is that we all come from so many different backgrounds. I know doctors, lawyers. I have an MBA. You say you came from every type of business, every type we have people that didn't graduate high school and they're on top of the leaderboards making $60,000 a week. Wow. I mean, here's the disclaimer, it doesn't mean you will, but the opportunity is there for everybody. It doesn't matter how old, it doesn't matter if you have a disability. We have people that can't see, that can't hear, that can't speak, that can't sit up, and they're putting me to shame because I made an excuse. So I had no excuse. I had all my faculties about me. I just had a big attitude. I thought I knew it all. So now I'm just following the simple recipe, and it's working. So thank you, Travis.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to to save the really, really best, for, only best because she's related to my sponsor. I got to throw out that shout out right there. Melissa, would you like to go go next? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what
yes,
is your...
I would like,
Okay, go ahead.
I actually started in Empower back last March, and I kind of got hung up as a newbie. It was my very first thing online. John was a lot of help. He's my sponsor actually also. But the problem that I had that I got real caught up in all the techie stuff and trying to learn everything instead of actually doing the blogging and advertising and promoting, and that was really my fallback. But getting linked in with the prosperity team and following the steps, it's made it so much easier. And now I actually have people like, how are you doing it? What are you doing? And it's really funny how Travis was talking about mindset, because going to the events, you leave there like feeling like you can just take over the world. And I really like that a lot. So after the event in Austin, I just kind of jumped right in and just rolled with it. And then it seemed like right after that is when we met up with the prosperity team, and that just really helped me out a lot. Just following the daily action assignments and realizing that, you know, all of the people on the leaderboards are no different than you or me or the fence posts. So once you get that in your head and realize that you can do it, it's just it just comes easy. But at first for me, I was like, God, how are these people doing this? I just, there's no way. I can't, you know. And I kept telling myself, I can't. And then I wasn't. But then once I kind of changed the way I was, you know, thinking, it just started all happening, and it was really exciting. So just plugging into the team training, Prosperity, and John, I mean, he teaches us so much. It really makes it really easy. So the Prosperity team, in my opinion, is just, I mean, it's a no-fail plan. I mean, there's really not. If you follow what they teach, you have to follow it and do it. So I'm really excited about the team, and I'm actually finally growing my team, and I'm just really excited. I really, you know, people ask me all the time. I actually got an email yesterday, and it said, "Oh, I heard Empower, you know, is just it's a, you know, overwhelmed market, and it's a silly thing to." I'm like, it's not silly. Look, get on the Empower Hour tonight. Just get on the Empower Hour tonight, and then call me afterwards. And you tell me if they're bringing in 5,000 people a day, how you shouldn't get into it, you know? And they were really concerned about it. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to go after they go in the Empower Hour tonight, and give me a call afterwards. So I'm just really excited. Thanks for thinking of me, for being here. And if you have reservations, or you're, you know, thinking about joining, Prosperity team is just really awesome.
Yeah, and there is only one way to fail in this business, and it's just to quit. You quit on it first, because it's not going to quit on you, and we're not going to quit on you. So Melissa, what is, out of all of the things that we've learned, SEO and blogging and paid advertising and all that other techie stuff, which obviously I'm not techie at all, because I couldn't even get on. But I'm actually, yes, I am ranking #1 on Google, despite myself. What is your favorite method of bringing in people and building your business? Because we don't call them sign-ups. Because in this business, we're not just building a business, we're building people in our business. What's your favorite method?
New team members, not new, not paid. I like to call them team members, because they are a team member. They're family, you know. And that's the thing about Empower. When someone asks me about Empower, like they'll IM me or email me, I always tell them Empower Network is a family. It's just that. You won't find anything else like it. You will go to an event and you will never think of yourself or life the same ever again. But going back to your question, really, I like to blog. At first, I didn't like to blog, but I do now, and I like to do some paid advertising just because I'm a mom. Um, Cheerleading, baseball, soccer, tumbling, you name it, I do it. So I don't have a lot of time on my hands. So I enjoy paid advertising just because it's really quick and it's instant. As long as you know weeding out the good from the bad. That took me a while, but once you learn it, I've actually started doing some ads on Craigslist, and I've been getting some really good things on that. I'm actually about to do a little training video on some tricks that I learned. But that's one of my very favorite ones that I was kind of scared of. And YouTube. I've been making videos, and that's kind of new to me because I get kind of nervous when I'm on. You know, it's really weird taping yourself. It looks so easy, but it's really not. But I've kind of stepped out of my comfort zone, and I've been starting to do a lot more YouTube videos. I like to do those because you can do them quick and then write a little bit. Because I don't have as much time to blog, so that's kind of one of my things that I've really taken to do a lot.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So Travis loves videos, and you love paid advertising, and paid advertising, there's a trick to that too, which they teach you in Empower Network. You don't just throw money. Well, if you like to throw money, then do it without the training, because I've done that, and I've ran up my credit card bills because I'm like, oh, it's easy. This guy sounds legit, and look, he can make me $20,000 for my $5 bill. Well, that didn't happen.
And it has to be true, right?
Absolutely, because it's on the internet. Isn't there a commercial about that? How did you find out? On the internet. It's got to be true. Oh my goodness. So, well, thank you very much, Melissa. Hi, Kara. Thanks for showing up. I know you had some technical difficulties.
I think she might be muted.
Kara, are you muted? Say hi. Hello. Say hello.
It said Travis.
And I'm trying to unmute her.
I think Kara is muted.
Yeah.
Okay, Felicia, if you could please just tell us a little bit about your pretty self. I know you're all over the place. Work with Brian and Felicia, and I'm like, who is this girl? What is she up to? If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and your favorite go-to method to building your family. Uh-oh. Felicia, I think we're having the same technical difficulties we did before. You don't have a good connection. But she takes a pretty picture, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think her connection might be too slow.
Yeah, that's what happened before. She comes in good for a while, and then it just goes, ugh. Kara? You're muted. You're muted.
Try unmuting on the top right.
I'm hearing something, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's muted. I think
either.
it's her connection. It doesn't seem like her internet might be not be fast enough because she's coming in real pixelated and there's a delay.
Yeah. Well, Christy, you're the woman of the hour. You came in a pinch for me. I was seriously just like doubting myself. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And I just kind of bit the bullet on Friday afternoon. I said, I don't like to do videos. I don't ever go on these Google Hangouts. So I'm going to commit, and I put up a silly 1.5-minute video. My hair was up in the backyard, all shaky, and I said, come and meet me Monday at 7 p.m. And then that was it. And I said, it's out there on the internet for all to see, so I have to do it today. And then I'm faced with, oh my God, I can't talk for myself. So I ran to Krista, and Krista, as usual, came in the last minute, and she said, sure, I'll do it. And then I didn't realize how many other great people I have around me, because all these people on the panel, within the last 2 hours, guys, you had other stuff to do, but you showed up, and that's what Empower is all about, is helping each other, family. I don't even know who your sponsors are because I don't ask. We don't care. We just help each other. But we all happen to be part of Prosperity, which is the place to be. So, Krista, if you could please tell us a little bit about yourself and the secret workings of Krista and John.
Well, thanks for having me, and kudos to you for doing this, because, yeah, it can be a little intimidating. And like I said, the only reason I was able to set it up so quickly is because I had to set up the women's lounge with like a 15-minute notice last night, and it was my first time setting it up. So John and I have been online working for about 4 years. And for the first 6 to 8 months, I had no idea what was going on, because all I knew was he was staying up all night at the computer. So, and then he, started to see some success, and it was right when I was finishing college. So I've been working with him for about 3.5 years. And prior to Empower Network, I was basically the back office, as I like to call myself. And there's a very good reason for that. Our primary opportunity that we were with before Empower Network, when John first started to see really good results with that, first of all, when he got started online, he was like everyone else. He didn't see any results. For at least the first 6 months, he did not make a dime online. So he had to really stop and put things on hold, and he just basically went out and threw money at every training program you could possibly get. And I think he probably spent over $20,000 total on training products. So then he got into what was our primary opportunity at the time. And he started to see great results after applying all the training. So things were going great. He built this massive team. And then he started to notice that his team was having a very difficult time creating the same results that he was. So he basically put his business on hold for about another 6 to 8 months, and basically regurgitated all the training that he had gone out and purchased. He made his own training site and poured his heart and soul into it, and once it got launched, it was great, and things went well. And this was along the time that I was starting to work for him. But even with all of that training, there was still just not the success rate that he wanted to see. I mean, it's one thing for you to, have your own success, but the whole, reason that John is so passionate about this industry is he loves helping people. So the fact that he still wasn't seeing his team have as good a results as he was bothering him. So when we found Empower Network, it took all those technical hurdles away, because that was the biggest hurdle for people is the technical issues, getting a website going, getting hosting, getting an autoresponder. The list goes on and on. And like I said, he created amazing training, like basically step-by-step videos. Still, for some people, it was so frustrating. They were just, I give up. So with Empower Network, that's all out the door. I mean, it eliminates so much technical difficulty. It's amazing. So I've seen so many lives changed by this opportunity. That's what really brought me forward from the back office to really come forward and start getting involved on the front end of things, because I really do. It's not that I didn't believe in the industry before, because, I mean, obviously I saw John do it with zero experience, so I knew it was possible. But there was so much struggle for other people that my heart wasn't in it. So with Empower Network, my heart and soul is in it. And I had already started to get involved on the front end of things, but just like Adriana and Melissa mentioned before, it was an event for me that really, really just rocketed me forward. I think it was actually Austin. My first event for Empower was the Atlanta event, but the Austin event was a very big breakthrough event for both John and myself, from the leadership training and the speakers training that we went to. It really propelled me forward and just drove me to get involved on the front end of things. So it's so much more than a business. It really is. And just like everyone here mentioned with the Prosperity team, you couldn't ask for a better family of support. I've seen so many team members, they're taking their first steps, just like you're doing tonight, Adriana, with doing your first Hangout. And our family always comes together to help each other. So it's definitely, especially I know a lot of people have reservations that have been online before and tried and failed. This is the game changer for so many people. I can attest to that because I've seen it firsthand. So this is absolutely Like I said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I love it. And I love meeting so many different people and hearing the stories and seeing people's lives change because of it.
Thank you so much. And it's so funny. I had just met you. Well, I feel like I know you. I don't always bother you because it always seems like you're so busy with different things, with, you know, working the business with John. But when I remember when I saw you at the event, I gave you such a big hug. You were like a long lost sister, and I have pictures of that to prove it, guys.
Oh, it's great to meet you. Yeah.
I just felt like, oh, my brother John, my sister Krista, and that's how it is here. And, you know, everybody, I hate when people get up there and say, oh, I worked an hour today and I made $500,000. Well, great for you. But I got to tell you something. I don't have to work as much as I do, and I don't even want to say the hours, but I am so addicted to it that even if we go on vacation, even if I'm at the beach, I'm at my phone like this. Not because I have to, I don't have a hardship story. I can't pay my mortgage, whatever, because thankfully my business, you know, has started, and maybe I can get up on stage and tell you the whole details one day. But I love it. I love what I do. And my husband is always like, could you stop playing on Facebook? Don't you have dinner to do? Don't you have anything else to do? And I'm like, I'm not playing on Facebook. Facebook is our boardroom. You know, he understands that because I come from the corporate world. He didn't get it until he came to this event with me. And I thought for sure he was going to start making faces and rolling his eyes. But he met people. He heard people. And now it's like, so how's John doing? He said this thing. How's Dee doing? She mentioned this. And Nicole. And I'm sitting here like, are these long-lost friends of yours? Like, what just happened to you after all these years? Because I've been struggling at home for about 8 years, to be honest with you. You know, I'm overqualified for this. This kind of job has been, you know, made obsolete. So I finally found a home, and thankfully, like Dee and Justin said, if your spouse or your significant other can get it, and at least if they can't support you, at least not to minimize it, because they'll only understand when you show that big check on stage. But right now, he just texted me, good luck, hon, I know you're going to do great. So yeah, I know he's going to watch this after. But yeah, so the last question. What is, I know John's favorite because that man is an encyclopedia, but what is your favorite way to build your business?
We have so many routes that he goes, but it's
like your go-to method. It's just easy and you just do it. You love it.
For me, I mean, I like to write, so blogging is not too bad for me. Like, I'll write a lot of the blogs that we post, but I know a lot of people don't like to write, so video is really not so bad for me. But what you have to understand is that everything is different. Like, a lot of people will email us and they want to know what's converting best, what's the best conversion method. And the important thing to remember is what might convert well for us may not convert very well for someone else at all. It's different for everyone. Just for example, John has a campaign on YouTube right now that's doing really well. He tested that, I mean, tested for, I know, at least 6 weeks, to basically where you watch the video and you'll click and it'll go to a capture page. He had it in the beginning going to 15 different capture pages, and he kept narrowing it down and narrowing it down and narrowing it down to see which ones had the best results. So I think the important thing is to, I mean, obviously if you're comfortable with something, it's probably going to come easier and convert better for you. So the important thing, what John will always tell people when you're getting started, is to test different methods. And when you're getting started, we recommend taking one thing and stick with it for 30 days to 6 weeks until you've really mastered it. So if you want to start out with video marketing, try to do a video every day for 30 days. You'll get more comfortable with it over time. You can test it out. You can see what converts well. You can switch to email marketing. You can switch to blogging. You know, try something out. I think the problem that a lot of people have is they'll get started and they're so, you know, sometimes people start out of desperation. Some people don't. But it's almost like, oh, if I don't make this money in a week, then it doesn't work. So it just doesn't work that way. You really have to find something that works good for you and work at it. It's just like anything else. The more you work at it, the better you're going to get. So with conversion, it's everything is different. So for example, I could make a video and put it on YouTube or Facebook, and it might convert like crazy. And then someone else could go, watch it and verbatim recreate the same video, and it may not convert near as well, or it may convert 10 times better. It comes down to what you're comfortable with and what works best for you. So you always have to be testing and trying out new things. And it's just like Travis said, because we're so big on self-improvement and mindset and things like that, and we always discuss on mindset calls, it's just outside of your comfort zone is your success and everything that you want. So challenge yourself to get outside of your comfort zone and try new things, because things that you might not be comfortable with in the beginning might end up being the thing that converts best for you. So
right. And it's so funny because, like you said, everybody's like, what's the secret? What's the secret? All the secrets? Everybody in the 15K gives their specific go-to, and this is what made me think of it, their best method of conversion. And it's all there. So if I give a person, like if I give my husband a bag of flour, a little bit of salt, and some sugar and some eggs, he's not going to come out with a cake. You give that to somebody, they're going to come out with muffins. You give that to somebody else, they're going to come out with a 7-layer cake. So the information is there. The path, what do they say? A good leader will not tell you what to do. No, they'll tell you what to do, but not how to do it. So this is your end point. Now you find your recipe on how to get there. So there really is no secret. If you're exposed to all of the information, then I'm exposed to what you were, and you came up with your own success. And for me, personally, I love Facebook. I've tried paid. I've tried writing. I hate writing. I know it's a terrible thing to say. So I stopped trying to be an SEO guru. I kind of do it as a daily journal. And if it gets hits because Google likes it, great. If it doesn't, then I'll just send it out to my list. I'll send them jokes. I'll tell them personal stories, and I'm building a relationship that way, and I'm getting some conversions. So you just got to make it your own. Thanks, Krista. Kara, are you there?
He's still muted.
She said she was good now. Oh.
I was just going to say one thing on what Krista said also, and that was kind of my fallback in the very beginning, is because I learned so much in so little time, and I didn't ever just do one thing. I would do it a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and so I would get a little result and a little result, but I wasn't getting a big, massive result. So once you kind of learn it and narrow down what you're good at, then you have to stick with that for a little bit, like she was saying, because that's really, really, really important to do, I think, instead of doing it all over the place.
Yeah.
Find your one or two things that you can do and do them big.
It's really, really easy when you're getting started to get information overload, and that happens a lot. So people will get frustrated, and like I said, I mean, everyone comes to the industry for a different reason, but I see so much that a lot of people come out of desperation. They're like, I just got fired, or I have until this day to make this much money. And it's like, Travis touched on, mindset is so important. And I think when you come that way, you come with the wrong mindset. So people will start on something, and when they don't see results fast enough,
they quit.
They get frustrated, they give up, they want to call it a scam or whatever. I mean, it happens all the time. So persistence and mindset are two of the biggest key players in this industry. Persistence and mindset, and that's, again, one of my favorite things about Empower Network, is that mindset is such a big part of the training with our prosperity team. Like, it's such a big deal.
Yeah, and like they said, nothing can change in a week. I had a person try for 1 week, and I made 2 blog posts, and I didn't even make $100 yet. I didn't make anything. Well, you can't lose weight in a week. You can't write a novel in a week. You can't, if you want to go into bodybuilding, everything takes a little bit of time to see even a little bit of a change. So I know it's hard because I felt the same thing. And oh, well, you're saying it from the point of view because you're making something, you're recouping your costs. You know, you can pay your bills. My water's going to be shut off. You just have the faith. What did they say? The hero is the same, is just like you and I, but they had the faith for 5 minutes longer than we did. And that's all it is. Just when you think you can't anymore, smack yourself and listen to one of the videos. And I swear, it's the mindset thing again. Because even a child...
Go to an event.
Go to an event. Absolutely.
It will change your life.
I was converted. If there's a religion, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm part of this religion. Because it was amazing. I heard the stories, but you're there and you feel it. It's like electric. It really is.
Magical. It
really
is. The feeling and the power. It gives your mind.
I mean, my husband's not a badass. He's a hard ass. And now he's like, oh, look, did you make money yet? Can I stay home? Can I be your secretary? Can I be your, well, I can't say that one. But, and he happens to be in the promotional video. Of all the people, not me, when they were panning the room, my husband's in the promotional video. So now he's hooked. He's an empowered husband.
Now he's a badass.
Now he's a badass. Every morning he's like, don't be a wussy today. And I'm like, I won't.
That's awesome.
It is. I mean, it's totally changed. Even my son came with us, and you know, he sings a song. There was somebody that came up with like a Western song.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Uh-huh.
Don't be a wussy. Oh no, I'm not
I
gonna
do
sing.
remember. Yeah.
I love that. My son's going around singing it. Oh my God. I said, I'm going to videotape you, put you on YouTube because he's 15, and that's it. You're done. Your friends are going to laugh. But he goes, I don't care, Mommy. With what you're making and what these guys are making, you can buy me a car. And I'm like, whoa. I'm not there yet. But, Kara, I heard you giggling before. You got to speak.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
You know what?
You are one badass chick. I see you around, and your posts are so inspirational. You come out and you tell it like it is. I'm like, who is this woman? Is she a minister? Is she a civic leader? I mean, you just like blow it out. And I go, I need to hear this woman and her story. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got here, and just your go-to method.
Okay, well, my name is Can you see me? Because this is like weird.
Yeah, I know.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Kara, like take care of yourself. And my story of how I got here is like really kind of crazy, but I guess everybody has a crazy story. So let's see. I'm a mom. I have 6 kids. I started an IT company that I started in my bedroom, and within 3 years it turned into a multi-million-dollar organization, had employees all over the country and all this kind of good stuff. And let's see. So fast forward a few years, and my husband and I ended up getting divorced. And you know, at the time it seemed like this was like the worst thing that could ever happen. It was like a good thing because it was, I don't know, you know how sometimes you just get to a point where you know it's time to leave the party, but you don't want to leave, but you know you gotta go. So it was that kind of situation, and there was a lot at stake. You know, we had company, we had the kids, we had all kinds of stuff, and it was just like, okay, what am I going to do now? So I have been involved in people in the entertainment industry from years and years ago. I used to sing at a club. And so my friends that I knew back in the day are now all Grammy Award-winning songwriters and producers and singers and all this kind of cool stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I can, do that because they've been bugging me for years to come back and write songs and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, in the middle of all of that, I got injured in a car accident, just like in the commercials. And that just kind of put a monkey wrench in everything. At that point, I was like down emotionally and physically, and then my ex, even though we had built this multi-million-dollar organization that was my idea to start, and I worked my ass off, he was holding, every dime hostage. So it was really, really a tough time, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just a trooper. Nothing is going to stop me, no matter what. You might slow me down, but you're not going to stop me. So I said, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And when I say it got bad, it got really bad, to the point that I haven't really told, anybody this kind of part of the story, but, here I am as a woman that built a very successful business, known in a lot of circles. I found myself sitting in a welfare office trying to get some kind of assistance to help, take care of me and my kids. I'm just sitting there and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, okay, God, what part of the game is this? I didn't sign up for this. It's like, okay, but you have me here for a reason. So I'm just going to make the best of it and figure it out as I go along. But anyway, during my kind of convalescing with my from the car accident, I was getting these injections in my head and in my back and all kinds of craziness. I was just kind of get back to myself. Like, what is it I really want to do now? I knew, after the divorce, I would be fine financially. The kids would be okay. I knew everything eventually would work out, but it's like, okay, in the midst of it, what do I do? So my oldest son had given me a copy of the movie The Secret. And so I started watching The Secret, and I was like, wow, this is like such life-changing knowledge. I don't know if any of you guys are Law of Attraction fans or whatever, but that really kind of opened my eyes to see how I had attracted a lot of the good and the bad into my life. And so fast forward, I'm going and I'm like, okay, Lord, what I do now, how can I use this knowledge? How can I help other people? Because that's really my heart, is to help other people. And pretty much my whole life I've been empowering other people. And so once I figured out, okay, there's got to be a way for me to take this to the masses and help everybody I know, but then help other people and just help them so that they can take care of themselves. Because I realized I was in this weird, funky place, because where I live is Loudoun County, Virginia, which is like it goes back and forth between being the first and like second wealthiest county in the country. So here I am, have this $1 million lifestyle, but I find myself sitting in a welfare office. It was just crazy. And so through the law of attraction, I kind of attracted Empower Network. I was on Facebook and keeping up with everybody, and I was just trying to keep everybody else encouraged. I'd see people struggling and going through stuff, and they had no idea what I was going through. But I would just, keep her head up, don't worry, it's all going to work out, and that type stuff, And one day it just clicked like, hey, people are making millions of dollars on the internet. I want to know what they're doing, because I want to be one of those people. And I realized this was when I got in. I went through a bunch of like little crappy deals. Okay, all of them were crappy. So some of them were actually pretty good. I realized it was so time consuming, even though I had the luxury to be able to be home and not have to go to a job every day, that most people couldn't do that. So enter Empower Network, and I was like, whoa, this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And the name Empower just resonated with me, because at that point I was really feeling so powerless and so helpless. So that's how I ended up in Empower Network. And like I said, I mean, I always think no matter what bad thing happens, that there's something better is going to come of that. So that's how it was for me. I'm like, okay. And it's amazing because I know, like, if I hadn't gone through what I had gone through, I would never have, well, I'm not going to say never, but probably not have been in a position where I found Empower Network and where I could connect with, like, awesome people like you guys and just see that instead of me being able to change, 100 lives or 200 or 300 lives with my company, I could potentially change thousands of lives, through the internet. It's like freaking awesome. And then the method that I really like to use is I love Facebook because it's so versatile. And now I just started liking to do videos because you can see that I like to talk. So I started doing videos, and at first I was like, yeah, who's going to want to hear this crap? But what I did was there was a couple of people that had watched their videos, and I was like, okay, I could do that. Like, this is not, it doesn't seem like it's that complicated. And plus, I don't know these people anyway. So, what do I really care what they think? If it helps one person by something I say, if it helps encourage one person or inspire one person, then, it's worth me putting myself on the line. So, but I absolutely love Facebook. And what I do is I kind of realized really quickly that I was sick of seeing the join my company, buy my stuff, here's a bunch of money. I was like, okay, that's great. I know because I've been in that weird place where it wasn't necessarily always about the money for me, that a lot of people that need to be in this business are not necessarily motivated by money. They're motivated by the opportunity to help change lives. And, so I guess I'm a little passionate about it, but, so what I do is I just took a bunch of different, whatever I'm interested in. I'm interested in the law of attraction. I'm interested in, motivating people and people's mindset, like do EFT and neuro-linguistic programming, and then I'm interested in business. I have 6 kids, so parenting. So what I did in short and sweet was to create a bunch of different pages that are just kind of niche specific for those things. I mean, have a whole, the law of attraction thing kind of took off on its own, and I have this Retrain Your Brain series that I started, and it's just a lot of fun. We have like 6,000 people in there now. So, I mean, but it's helping me to connect with like-minded people and also hopefully, bringing those people into the fold. And last thing I want to say is John is, he wasn't my sponsor in Empower, but I got, I was trying like one of everything. So I was like, okay, wait, something has got to work. And I got into another deal that John was my sponsor in. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting it. I don't know what it was. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to like email him. And then I'm like, I'm going to call him and maybe let's see if he'll call me back. And my daughter was in the house the day that John called me, and I was like, oh my God, it's John Morales. It's like, I'm talking to a superstar and all this kind of stuff. So, anyway, that's my story.
And John is definitely bigger than life. John is definitely bigger than life. When I saw him, I don't know if you guys have met him in person, but on the screen he looks like a normal-sized little person. And he's also very quiet and shy. When I saw this 7-foot guy, I'm like, oh my God. I was shocked. And oh my goodness, he's like a big teddy bear.
Everybody says that when they meet him for the first time. They're like, you are a lot taller.
That's the first thing I said to you, like it's your fault. I said, Krista, he's big. Oh my God.
I'm 5'11". I think he's 6'1", almost 6'2". Yeah, so when people meet us, they're like, you guys are really tall. And I'm like, I know.
Can I tell you something? Everybody in Empower is big. I'm 5'3", and I look like everybody's daughter. It was so funny.
I thought the same thing about David Sharp. He to me on camera seems a lot shorter, but when you meet him, he's really tall also.
Yeah.
And David Wood on stage when I took a picture with him. That's another big guy.
Yeah, he's super tall.
But it's amazing. A lot of people are like, well, I need the money. I'm doing this because, let's be honest, I have to pay the bills. And okay, we might come to it for that, but you start feeling, or me personally, let me speak in my own. I came in because I needed a job, and I needed an opportunity to grow in other words, financially. But as a side effect, I'm growing as a person. I have a higher education, but none of it ever taught me the self-improvement, like working on myself. And not only am I seeing a difference in my business, but I'm getting along with my mother, which never happened. I'm much more understanding of my husband, which he's loving Empower for. He might put donations out, but I'm like, you can't donate to Empower Network. So, I mean, it's a big circle, and it affects so many lives. So if you can just start small with, let me improve my situation right now, let me improve my financial, and then my relationships with my family, and those of my team, and then on and on and on. Like I think Tony Rush said, money is not an evil. With money, you can do noble things and help others, like build a school, help with a vaccine. I mean, money is not, what is that other expression? Money is not the root of all evil, it's the lack of it. And I believe it was 50 Cent that said that, so I'm not embarrassed to say I totally agree. Felicia, can we try to bring you out? Because you tried so hard to get me going with this as well.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your pretty self.
Can you hear me now?
Not
Hello?
very well. Not very well.
Can you hear me?
Felicia, we're just going to have to just do a new hangout just with you. We just got joined by Kat.
She should turn her video off.
Okay, well, Karen,
Can you hear me?
who was that?
It's Karen.
Hi.
Hi, honey. I don't know what's going on. My camera keeps going on and off, so I'm trying to fix this. It's on my end, I'm sure. Hang on a second.
That's okay. That's a very pretty picture of you. As long as we can hear you, because poor Felicia, we can see her pretty face, but we can't hear her.
Oh. Yeah, you can hear me and you can't see me. Awesome.
Do you guys mind?
Karen.
What's that?
I'm Steve, by the way. How you guys doing? I'm Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Karen here.
Travis, you
Somebody-
told me we had beautiful women in here, man. I came with a tin top, that's all, you know. Man, it's actually, this is actually one of the, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
This is one of the best opportunities I've ever been in my life. And, you know, I improved as a person. I grew as a person. I got out the old life I was, and now I'm in a new life. You know, I read more. I listen to audios. I actually do my own Google Hangouts every day, so that's my 90-day challenge. And I do my own videos, personal videos for my list. And I do Google Hangouts every day. So today we was talking about what's so good about building a list. So it was awesome. I liked it. It was amazing. Seeing me like 6 months from now and seeing me now as a person, I grew so big, and I grew like I feel confident, more confident than anything I else did in life before. I feel better now, and it's just great to see that this company could change somebody's life in 6 months to all us basically. And if you guys haven't joined Empower Network, get in. Stop making excuses. You know. I was to talk about myself a little bit. You know, I'm 22 years old. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I've been in Power Network for 6 months to a year now, and I learned so much stuff about myself, and I learned so much stuff about people, building relationships, getting to know other people, building. I never used to build relationship as I used to before. I feel more confident around people. I'm more comfortable. I'm more talkable now than before. There's so many things going around my head, and I'm just feeling good about myself. So, basically done telling my story. But today was awesome. I got 151 leagues today, and yesterday I got 91 leagues, and it was just amazing how everything happened. Can you guys hear me, right? Okay, so I'm actually done. So anybody want to talk could talk. Just
That's great, Stephen. Let me ask you one quick question. What is, you've been with Empower for 6 months,
yeah.
and the theme of this Hangout is, what is your go-to method that you think works best for you in case someone is really new and they're offered all this information? They've seen video, they've seen blogging, they've seen paid advertising. What is your favorite go-to method?
Well, my favorite one is paid advertising, and I love doing videos because I like connecting with people. So what I do is, right now I'm doing a 90-day challenge. I'm doing a video every day, and I'm doing a Google Hangout app. I'm doing a video in the morning, early in the morning, and in the afternoon at 4 o'clock every single day. Haven't missed a day yet, and we'll never miss a day. Don't care what happens. And I'm doing a Google Hangout day. So I send one email in the morning, one email in the night. So my main things is video and paid advertising, to be honest.
Okay, and did you start out with a list, or you came in with
No,
zero?
I had no list at all. I had no experience, no nothing. I didn't know what was a list when I first started. I was like a dummy. I didn't know how to communicate with my list. I didn't know how to write emails correctly. I didn't know how to do ad copies. I was confused out my butt, and now I'm just exploding it because I remember my first time marketing online, and I didn't know how to get any leads at all, and now I'm getting like 100 to 91 leads a day through paid advertising, and that's what I focus on. That's what my main strength is. And if somebody don't like doing paid advertising, there's so many ways of marketing. There's offline marketing, there's blogging, there's video marketing. There's so many things that you guys can do. There's even Facebook you can do, like Travis does on the side over there, the master of Facebook. Don't know how he does it, but it's just amazing how you are free to do anything you want in Empower Network and not like tied down to one certain things or tied down to one specific way of doing things, marketing. And that's what's so amazing about this, that you're just free. He's like a free man that's walking around and enjoying life, basically.
Right. There's no company policy to the way we need to do things. I mean, obviously, you can't do anything illegal or anything like that or promise something that's not true. But they pretty much give us free reign to do and express ourselves. And the beauty of it is, I've heard of other companies that were actually putting restrictions on their workers that you can't do this to be in this and so on. I think that's because those people are so insecure. Dave and Dave are so sure of the quality of this product and of this system that once you get a taste of it, you don't need or want anything else. So they will never tell you what you cannot do or can't do or what company you could affiliate with. They let you find your own way. And eventually, like myself, they let me free and I still came back. So there's just no other place but Empower Network. You guys need to get in, lock arms with us. We're here to embrace you and help you. And I don't think anybody can fall. Nobody. I mean, look at how many people we have here that just showed up out of the goodness of their hearts for the last, for in the last minute. And there's over 120,000 of us. And to touch upon that, we're saturated. Give it another year or so. Well, they said that when we were at 20,000. So, companies like Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola, and I don't know if this is illegal to say this, all these big name companies, I don't think they ever stopped when they hit 300,000 or 500,000 because this is it. This is the top and the peak, and we're going to saturate. So, Karen.
Oui, mon chéri.
Hi, my girl. I have seen this little powerhouse of a girl. She started in one of those little free kind of teaser systems to come in as a front end to Empower Network. And she took this by storm, took it for serious. I mean, she started writing scripts for people, little follow-up messages. She built a book. I mean, yeah, you wrote books. You started she's Jeff Buchanan's right-hand woman. She is the administrator of the group. She is a little almanac. If she can't find something out, she'll go find it out. And this is not even her business. It's none of her business. But she, you know, they say you can't appoint a leader. A leader appoints themselves. And this young lady just blows it out of the water. And now, thankfully, she's gotten her feet wet in Empower. And by this time in, by Denver, I'm pretty sure she's going to be holding a microphone. So I really wanted to hear from you now that you're still little, and you know, because afterwards I'm going to have to. You're still like little in the sense that you're not a big celebrity that, you know, and I can get your autograph now when it's free. So.
I thought you were talking about me being 5'2". Okay, well, why not? That's fine.
I'm 5'3". I mean, you know, approachable still. Like you don't have an entourage and a red rope around you yet.
Well, wow, thank you so much for the introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Karen, and I interact with, you know, these ladies all the time in groups and stuff, but this is actually the first time that hanging out with everybody. So, you guys are awesome. You know how I feel about you. Yeah, Adriana is exactly right. I guess compared to some of the people that are on the panel, I am newer into Empower Network. I've been with Empower Network since December is when I actually joined. When I started, when I started online, period, I had always wanted to get into Empower Network. I had read so much about it. I did my homework about it. I was really excited about it, but at that time I was completely unemployed. I had no money whatsoever. All I knew was that I wanted to get into Empower Network. It was just a gut feeling of mine that this thing is real and this could really happen. And I ended up doing a couple of, like Adriana said, some freebie businesses to get started up. And they worked well. The first one didn't work so well. But when I found Jeff and Instant Payday Network, that took off for me the first day. And that was like a dream come true for me. It literally saved my life in more ways than one. Whole other story. People who know me know about it. But it saved me 3 weeks. I had 3 weeks before I was going to be homeless. And that was the program that saved my life, literally. So I finally, you know, I was making sales and everything else, and everybody's like, you got to get in an Empower Network. Start it now, start it now. I thought, okay, I'll do it. And, you know, a lot of people get all in, get all in, get all in. Well, I wasn't at that point yet. At that point in my life, I literally had lost everything I had. So it's basically me rebuilding. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to spend $25 going to a movie. Seriously, or if I go out for dinner with the amount I eat sometimes, I could spend a whole month in just one sitting. So I thought, okay, no more excuses. This is what I've always wanted to do. I'm going to jump into it. And I was really surprised. You know, a lot of people go, well, I can't afford it. You know, if I'm at the basic level, I'm not going to make any money. And like, I hear so many excuses. You guys, I stayed at the basic level for a while. Okay, I made money. I still made money. And what was so great about it is that I was getting all these signups. These signups were coming in through Instant Payday Network, because Step 4 is Empower Network. So they were coming in through there. People who knew me online found out that I joined, asking me about it, because they know I'm always going to be up front. I don't bull crap about nothing to anybody, just to get somebody to sign up. And they were just coming in and coming in. And before you knew it, for me, I was making a couple $100 residual a month. Now, that might not be a lot to a lot of people, but when you're dead broke and you're just starting out and you have no money and you just get in at the basic level and people say that that can't work, don't listen to them. It can. So as soon as I started building that, then I jumped into inner. And it's like, holy cow, it just doesn't stop. It's skyrocketing like crazy. And the one thing I hate the most, and I try to tell so many people, is there's a lot of excuses. And I'm not being mean when I say this, but people come up with a lot of excuses because subconsciously, I feel that a lot of people only know how to stay stuck in their subconscious. And you want more, and you want these things, and you want to reach out for it, but at the same time, you're not quite sure if you can. The fears that go through people's mind, well, I don't know what to do. I've never done anything like this before. I don't know how to advertise. I don't have the money. And you will come up with excuse after excuse after excuse. The only way you're ever going to succeed, seriously, just do it. That's it. Just do it. Even at the basic level, I'm telling you guys, you will make money. You will make money. You will make connections. You will start building a team. And you're going to feel so different and so energized when you do it, because there's nothing like Empower Network. There really isn't. I've seen some takeoffs on Empower Network, but it's never going to be Empower Network. Dave and Dave have this thing nailed. This is like one huge supportive family. The training is unbelievable. And I'll be honest with you, I don't do paid advertising. I'm I'm one of those people that even though I'm making money now, if I can do it for free, guess what? I'm going to do it for free. And I figure out ways to do that. I can do paid advertising if I want to, but I kind of like the challenge of the whole free thing. And it's really not difficult. Facebook, of course, is huge. There's so much social media that people can use that they don't even tap into. They don't even tap into because they think that it's just Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and that's it, and maybe Pinterest. But if you were to actually utilize YouTube and Google together for just typing into a search engine, free forms of advertising, free ways of advertising, you get on YouTube, and you will find so many people that do so many things in areas that you never even thought about or even knew about. There's thousands of social media sites out there. So as far as money goes, you know what I mean? If you can afford to eat out once a month, you can afford Empower Network, okay? And if you're worried that you might have to do paid advertising to make it, no, you don't. Not to start off. Use the power of social media. Free, 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 free. It's all about free. Start making those bucks, and then take a percentage of that. Take a percentage of it, put it aside, pretend it just doesn't even exist, let it build, and then get into paid advertising and watch this thing explode. But I'm telling you, you do not have to, if you're broke, if you feel like you're broke, don't make excuses anymore. You've got to at least try it. My favorite saying is the expert in anything was once a beginner. So allow yourself the time to learn. Allow yourself to be the beginner and know that it's okay. And don't overwhelm yourself with all kinds of information. Look at these people that are on the panel right now. Just a fraction of the support that all of you will get. And from people who know what they're doing, who are successful in it, you've got the training in Empower Network that you're not going to get anywhere else. People go to school for years and years and years, spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on something that you're going to get at a fraction of the cost. And then you've got the power of the events. You've got the Facebook groups. You've got the teams. There's so much leadership. There's so much guidance. Stop making excuses. Just go for it. Go for it. Start making your dreams come true. It can happen. Trust me. I was 3 weeks from being homeless. I'm not anymore. Thanks.
And you know what's amazing, Karen? That I remember your situation when it was happening, and you said, oh, I could only start at the $25 level. But you know what? Being all in, your heart was in, your soul was in it. Yeah. You were not sleeping nights. You were giving support to people in the Empower team that couldn't get things done when you weren't even in it because you couldn't afford your $25. So just because you can't put the money up legitimately, you were all in before your wallet was. So that's what got you successful. Other people can actually buy the programs and they'll quit on it in a week, and I'm like, you just spent all this money. they weren't all in. All in is heart and soul. We don't just want your money. We want you to be all in for the information in there. And somebody says, well, why don't you just tell me what's in there? You know all about it. You've seen it over and over, and you keep saying you listen to the tapes. You know what? You know that word, that game, telephone? You start with one story, and by the time it gets to you, it's different. If I try to teach you what's in there, it'll come out completely different. I can't tell a joke, and I cannot train like Dave and Dave do. There's just no way. And another point I wanted to make, you said that you were not professional or whatever. I don't forget the wording, but I wanted to remember what my point was. David Wood wasn't in his crib with a passy thinking about how to sell Amway or inspire people and talk for 4 hours about really not saying anything but meaning everything to that person. So he grew into it, and we all can, as long as we keep an open mind. And these faces on this panel don't get enough airtime, and I would love to maybe do this every week and put it out there. If you think you have a story, whether if you just got your first lead, your first sign up, or you're making $5,000 a week, I would love to show more faces, because you know what? I'm proud of Tony Rush. I'm proud for these people, but we've heard their stories, and it's great to hear more that are happening each and every day, because tomorrow one of us can get up to a $3,500 day, and that should be told. So
I want to be like Krista when I grow up.
Oh, that's what I said. I said that to her, and I can put it in the chat.
See, you have you have people who look up to you, Krista.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad.
I have a really cute story about my daughter. You know, I've always, I've not ever had to work since 2000. My husband, my late husband, was killed by a drunk driver, and ever since then, I've been at home. I did a sales and marketing position. So my daughter comes home from kindergarten, and she says, "Mommy, what are you going to be when you grow up?" Because to her, I wasn't working, but I worked hours to where I would be home after school. So I thought it was really cute what I was going to be when I grew up. I was like, oh, I don't know, just a mommy.
I would tell her I want to be just like you.
Yes.
She would love that.
If I could just jump in for 1 second, because I do want to give to Karin, because Karin, actually I found Instant Payday Network, and that's how I found my way to Empower, because I was like, well, hell, if I'm going to do the 3 steps, I might as well go and see what the 4th one is about. And I was like really clueless, and Karin had all this great training, and when I got in the group, I was like, wow, this girl's a rock star. So thank you, Karin.
Oh,
thanks, like all of you guys. But I just, yeah.
You are awesome, though, and you're rocking Empower Network, too. I mean, I love, every day, I'm telling you people, every day, this woman is posting some kind of a video or and it's always fun and entertaining. Like, she's never boring. I even saw her do, it was awesome. Which, you did that, you did one just recently from the library, didn't you? Were you in the library or something? In one of those tiny little booths going, okay, I'm in the library right now, but there's something I really want to talk to you about. It was awesome. Nothing stops this girl. You know, kudos to you. I'm really proud of you. I am. You're amazing. Okay, sorry.
You know what makes this group of people so wonderful and colorful? We've all come to this from experiences, hits, and whatever, and it just builds character. And I know everybody say blah blah blah. It would be just easy if I start. If we didn't go through what we went through, we wouldn't understand where we are. And I'm not going to preach, because I'm sure, you know, but I'm so happy I found it. And guess what? I found this opportunity from answering an ad for Z&Z Cash, which is Chuck Marshall's, and he's not even on this team. So you never know. You know, you think, oh, it's a cheapy paid ad and whatever. You never know when your next David Wood is. when your next Krista is, where your next Adriana is. You never know. I went all in. I mean, it's never underestimate who you might have in your team. They might come out and shock the heck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Adriana, I love that you and Stephen both touched on how the mindset training and such like that has affected you guys outside of the business. Because I actually had one of our teammates email the other day, and she was so upset. This guy, she had been kind of talking with him back and forth on Facebook for a couple weeks, and he was interested in Empower, but he still had some reservations. And he had just seen a lot of other teams, just people talking about how much they love the mindset training, and he basically sent her this message and was like, well, of course they're going to give you all this mindset training. Don't you know they're trying to brainwash you or something to that effect? And she was really upset about it. And she's like, I don't know how to answer that. And I'm like, the mindset training that you've received and the things that you've learned and done to better yourself, I'm like, how has that affected you outside the business? And just like you guys did, she was like, better interaction with others, just she wanted this list, and I was like, well, there you go. I was like, the things that we get from this training, it's not just for the business, it affects your whole life, and in such a good way. And of course that's going to carry over into your marketing and make those things 10 times better, but it's such a positive effect overall. And I can say 100% when the first time we met David Wood, and this was before Empower ever launched, he actually came to our house. I was furious when I found out about this from John. I came home one day and he's like, hey, so one of the guys that I do some work with online is going to be coming here. And I'm like, so you have a complete stranger coming to our home? Just some random person from the internet? So, but he had some video equipment shipped here, and he came, and he was here over the weekend, and he just, I don't know, I'm a people person, and sometimes you just know, but I watched him interact with our friends all throughout the weekend, and we had 2 or 3 of our friends come to us and they're like, who is this long-haired barefoot fellow, and why are you telling me that I need to quit my job because I'm going to change the world? And I'm like, that's David, and he's telling you that because he believes that with every fiber of his being. So for people that are still on the fence, and I know we hear a lot, and I'm sure everyone on this panel has heard it from people that have their reservations, they're like, really? That, your company owner is running around with no shoes on, dropping F-bombs in videos? Do you really think that's a professional way to present things? And I'm like, if you're going to let something that small hold you back, I don't even know what to tell you, because I can tell you with every fiber of my being that when David stands up there and tells you that he believes in you and he wants to change your life, he means it. This is someone that he really cares, and he really wants to make a difference and impact the world. And that's just, I've seen it so many times, and if you go to events, you'll watch him. I mean, we've been to events before where John has been a top producer, and it's like, even when you get there, these people are not accessible. It's never like that with Dave and Dave. They are out in the crowd, they are walking around, they will give you every bit of their attention, and they want to hear your story, and they do believe in you. And it's just, I've never seen anything like it, and it's just, it really is amazing. And it carries over to the other leaders, and it trickles down into the teams. And that's why when you hear us on these Hangouts talk about, we call each other family, because we really are. We really do believe in bettering ourselves and bettering those on our team, and just building a better future for everyone that we touch.
And you mentioned about that, it looks like brainwashing, and there was this photo from one of the events, I believe in Austin, where David was standing in front of the crowd with his hand out like this, and the crowd was with their hands out like this. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
If my father would have seen that, it didn't look right. But you want to know something? Maybe we all need a little brain washing from all of the stuff that we've learned. Call 2 friends, and they'll call 2 friends, and don't get off the phone until you hit your quota of 50 to 75. And by the end, I told that person off, and your, you know what I mean? That's not the way to live a life. And what is that expression? Stop selling a dream when deep inside you're living a nightmare, you're chain smoking, biting your nails, and picking off 80 proof. Most of us in this program are actually recovering from some kind of dilemma, which goes to show you that it's been given, it was brought upon us by what was going on out there. And now most of us are juicing and exercising and meditating and being spiritual beings. So there's something here. And on one more point I wanted to make, Dave goes into the audience, a multimillionaire, and he's so eccentric and so out of the box. He has no security detail. He doesn't separate himself. He'll sit down with you, put his arm around you. He'll eat breakfast with you in the same hotel. He is loved truthfully by the people that understand it. So, I mean, I didn't think I was going to get that into this, but, you know, I guess once you get going,
I wish there was a caption.
You just got to give it a try.
I wish there was a caption with that picture that you were talking about, because I know exactly what point.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite part.
It looked like a Nazi picture. It scared me. I was like...
That's what I'm saying. I wish there was a caption that explained that, because that's actually my favorite part of every Empower Network event, and it's always...
My mother saw him and she said, "You couldn't leave him around your children. Did your
Oh,
son,
no.
Did Lorenzo... I'm like, oh, okay, Mom. No,
He
it's
always
all
does
good.
an exercise on the last day of the event, and it's when he asks everyone, it's basically trying to find your purpose. And obviously, when everyone answers that question, they first want to say, oh, to have more money, to have financial freedom. But it's an exercise that he does, and I won't get into the whole thing here because it's kind of lengthy, but
Yeah.
you have to close your eyes and you really think about it, and ultimately what you're getting to is what is the deeper purpose. And just as a quick example, I use David Sharp, because everyone knows that David overcame addiction and he had a lot of struggle. And the first time I saw this done was in one of the leadership trainings, and David was up in front of everyone. He took his turn just like everyone else did, and I think it was Will, David Wood's brother, had his hand on his shoulder, and he said, well, you know, what's your purpose? You know, I want to make this much money. Well, why do you want to make that much money? You know, so I can take care of my family. And, well, what is that? You know, imagine that you have that amount of money. Well, now what does that look like? And what does that feel like? And eventually he got to the deeper purpose, and he said, so that I know that everything I went through was worth it. And you'll see a change, you'll see a shift in people when they hit that. So on the last day of every event, David Wood kind of does an exercise like that when he's up on stage, and that's when that picture was taken. And I can tell you, when it happens, he asks people, once they get to the point where they're really getting to the bottom of things and they're hitting that true purpose, he'll ask people to start calling it out. And to be there and experience it the first time, I cried so hard. I mean, you'll see all these people and they're calling out really deep, meaningful things, and it really is, it's emotional, but it's very powerful to watch. And that's when that picture was taken, was after the end of that exercise. That's why I said I wish there was a caption with it so people knew what was truly going on there, because it's just an awesome thing to watch, and it's really powerful and humbling to be in a room with that many people that are, you know, finding their true purpose and finding their why that's going to drive them going forward to changing their lives.
And you know what's remarkable to me? There was close to 6,000 people at this event, and one of them was a young kid. I won't say his name to embarrass him, and he couldn't make it to the event. So there were no more tickets to be had. I've purchased tickets for people on my team, and it totally changed their life around. The guy was going to get divorced, whatever. Make a long story short, he went there, total transformation. His wife is with him. He has a picture with the baby in front of the Prosperity Team sign. It's amazing. He's signing people. It's the mindset shift. He's not doing anything different. He felt the energy, and it just like a child or a dog senses your desperation or fear. If you get to a person, you got to look at this. Here's my URL. It's a turnoff. Nobody wants that. It's like, ew, skeevy. But if you truthfully believe it, it's coming from your soul. Somebody looks at you and wants what you have and wants that. Can I touch you? Let me get your karma. And I basically did that on stage. If you see me talking to David Wood, and some people got a photo of it, and I reached out to him, and he put his hand towards me, and I'm like, can I touch you to maybe get your good chi or whatever you people call it? He goes, certainly, and it just looked like a moment. I mean, I don't know. I'm in the right place where I need to be, and I don't know about you, but sometimes after I hit my 40s, you feel your mortality, and you're wondering, is this all that life's about? The grind to get a 3% raise, maybe a bonus, maybe a Christmas bonus way back when I'm dating myself. But that's not what life's about. Because if you work all that time, I didn't see my first child growing up. My second one I'm home with. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I don't have to be on anti-anxiety medication. I'm having a blast. And just lock arms with us. $25. I mean, shoot, I will personally put it up for you if in a month you don't feel a difference. Right, guys? Don't you feel they're using that as an excuse? If that's your only excuse, I'll cut back on 5 Starbucks and hopefully I'll change a life. You know
can I say something real quick? Because I just want to tell people why we do this and what's the reason. I want to impact so many people's life. That's my goal. I want to be on that stage where I can have my team behind me and say, this is what I did. And a lot of people, what they don't understand about online marketing is that there's no plan B for us. This is it and nothing else, I was in a job a couple months ago and I said, man, this is not for me. I can't be doing this. So I just left the job, I didn't tell nobody anything. I just left and I said, I gotta go full time with this, and this is it and nothing else. And when I took away that job, whatever that plan B, whatever I had on the side, it made me feel like I was fully committed to this, and I have to make this work no matter what. It's just either this or die trying. I don't care. This is it, and that's how I feel about it. Like you could see the passion about me when I'm doing my videos or when I'm doing my Google Hangouts, and people just when they come in, like they see us, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we speak to people is so different because we care, and it's a lot of people. All they think about, these guys are just want the money. Well, guys, we don't want the money. We want to help you change your mindset, and that's what we want to do, guys. And they don't understand that. They understand that, you're gonna get in. We're just gonna leave you in the corner. We're not gonna leave you in the corner. We're not gonna hold your hand, but we're gonna guide you through the direction you need to go. And that's what I just wanted to say before I left. And whoever wanted to talk can talk. I just wanted to get that out of my heart because I know that when people watch this, they think, this is doing it for the money. We're not, guys. And to be honest with you, this is what we love to do. We want to impact people's life. We want to help people get out, to stop. There's a lot of people that struggle to pay their mortgage. There's so much people that's on welfare. There's so much people that's on government assistance that can't do anything for their family. And they don't understand this. This is what we love to do, and this is our passion. This is our goal. This is our desire. And people don't understand that we have more than just this is more than just a business. It's family. It's a community. It's just heart inside of your soul that this is it and nothing else. And that's what people don't understand.
Yeah, and there's no plan B. Yeah. And there was there's a story that I read.
That's really so awesome. That's so awesome because we can feel your heart. I mean, I know I can, and to me that's the thing because like I said, I mean, my experience is a little different in that people, like some people say, why are you doing this? Because I don't have to work. If as Krista was saying, like I don't have to work and I'll be okay. My kids will be okay. But the purpose is so much bigger than me, and I know that what I can do, I can't just take care of the world. But if I can help empower people to be able to take control of their own lives and to make a difference for their families and their communities and just, impact people around the world. And that's what it really is for me, and I know, like I said, through whatever we have to go through to get where we're supposed to be. See, like if I hadn't been in a position where I didn't have any money because my money was being held hostage, I wouldn't have gone on this search like, okay, what can I do to make money? I feel so helpless. And found, I said, well, what's legitimate on the internet? And it was probably Karin that had a video or something for Instant Payday that said, you know, like legitimate work at home. And that's how I found that. Like one thing led to another. But, you know, it is our heart to help other people to just improve their lives. I mean, if you don't take anything else away from this, all you people out there, take away that it is not just about the money. It is about paying your bills and being able to have a good quality of life. Of course, we all want those things, but then it goes beyond that. You know, it's like when you see Bill Gates or Oprah, they don't have to do any of these other things to help change the world, because if it was just about the money, they already have the money. It's about making an impact, you know, not just for themselves, but for everyone else who touches their lives. And in the truth, you know, we all touch each other's lives. And this is the last point I want to make is that mindset training is so critical, because years of being in business and doing some mentoring and coaching and things like that, I mean, I see it so often. That is the one thing that holds people back, even when they have all the skills. Like, you know, we say like a lot around here, like you don't have to have a degree and you don't have to have this education and all that. And all that is, it's really true. You don't have to have anything to do this except really a willingness to do it. But you see people that have all these, you know, alphabet soup behind their names, and yet they're so insecure that they don't even think that they could go open up a business. You know, they can't even open up a corner store or whatever, because their minds are so, you know, they're so brainwashed in their limiting beliefs that, you know, I can't do it and I need a job and somebody has to tell me what to do, you know, every second of every day. And it's a prison of your own making. So that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, and that's the truth, you know. We're programmed by society to believe that we are born, we learn, we must work a job and retire, and that's the end of our life. I mean, come on. There's so many people now that turn to the internet because guess what? That life isn't out there anymore. There isn't. People are struggling, losing their homes, can't take care of their families. Like, I had no idea at all. When I turned to the internet, I was looking for a job with a company that outsourced, you know, because I couldn't find anything in the real world. That's how I started coming across all these testimonials, people who were making real money online, and they were real people, and I'm seeing these videos, and I mean, I'm like, come on, there's no way I could do something like that. You know what? I had to change my mindset because I knew nothing about internet marketing. I didn't know what a referral link was. I had no clue whatsoever. But as soon as I sat back and I remembered something, the one thing that I remembered, and you can ask this question to yourself, what did you know the very second you were born? You didn't know anything. You had instinct. You kind of knew how to eat a little bit. You know what I mean? You knew how to cry. You didn't know how to walk. You didn't know how to talk. You certainly hadn't learned anything yet. So we go through life learning things. And when we learn things, we know how to do them. Once we know how to do them, they become second nature. Once they're second nature, things are a breeze. So don't limit yourself to that thinking that you can't learn, that you can't do this, that everybody else can do it, and you might just be slower or whatever. It's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. You have got to believe in yourself and understand that there's always going to be people here, like here right now, that are going to lead you, who are going to help you, who are going to teach you. But don't overwhelm yourself. At the same time, one step at a time. You can learn it. Anybody can learn it. You got to trust yourself first.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, it's funny, when we were younger, we always looked to external sources for, yes, you did a good job, honey, you get a lollipop. Yes. We look to our teachers, to our professors, to our parents. And we're adults now. How satisfying is to know at the end of the day, you saw a young mom like Karen, like Kara, like any one of you that went through a hardship, and you made a difference just by maybe sending them in the right direction. Like me with that young little boy. He came up to me. He found me. I didn't recognize him. It's because of you that I got here. You got me the ticket. And it's all over my Facebook. It made me cry. I'm like, you don't know the effect that you may have on people just by being here on this Hangout, people listening to you. It's almost like the Christmas story. What if I never was? You know? It's just amazing. You know, I'm totally oblivious, and people come up to me and say, you did this or said this, and it made me do this. And now they're doing better than me. But that's good. I feel good for them. Once upon a time, I was a smaller person, and I would say, damn it, they're making more than me, you know? But it's like shedding that and just genuinely wanting the best for others. And when you do that, it comes around twice around. Karma could be a bitch, and karma could be a sweetheart. Mm-hmm. So it's just do the right thing, and it comes back so much more to you.
It does. And you know what? Anybody who's watching this right now, I don't believe in chance. Every single thing in life, no matter what it is, the good things, the bad things, all happen for a reason. There's events, thoughts that have brought you to this second, to this moment, right now, to this hangout, to hear people's stories, to you know, reach out in some, let them reach out to you. There's a reason why you're here. Yep. And you have to open yourself up to receiving that message. Yeah. It's not just about joining Empower Network. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a reason why you're here, and that means that your life can change dramatically if you're open to receiving the messages. I mean, literally, I was a DJ for over 25 years. I walked away from my life, just like you would see in a movie. I got so sick of it, I couldn't take it anymore for over 25 years. I literally quit my job, packed up my house, and moved to Panama. Gave up my entire life, scared to death, not knowing what the next turn was going to be. I thought I had it all figured out. I got my life back together. I came back to the States. I'm going to get a job. Guess what? That didn't happen. And as I was going through it, it was the hardest time of my life. I lost everything. But you know what? It all happened to bring me to this. Now I don't have to worry about working for somebody else ever again. I get to work for myself. I get to help people, and trust me, I go way beyond what I usually should do from what people say to help people, because sometimes I want it more for them than I want it for myself. But yeah, it's true. It's true, because I've been there, and I don't regret any of it, because you know what? I could have chosen to stay a DJ for another 25 years. Why not? Everybody thought it was, oh, you must have a blast. What a great lifestyle. Try doing it after 25 years. No. I was getting heart conditions, you know, because I was so stressed out. It was ridiculous. So is it my health or is it my happiness? And so now that I've gone through all of it, here I am, and now I understand why I did what I did, and I understand why I went through the unemployment and couldn't get a job and was homeless and lost everything. I had to lose everything to regain everything, if you understand what I mean. You don't have to go to that length. That was just, but there's a reason you're in this hangout. There's a reason why you're hearing these words from all these incredible people, so accept the message. And seriously, it will take you to places you would never imagine.
Well, like I said, this was my first hangout. I think it was a huge success, if only for me. I thought I knew each and every one of you, and I really, I loved what I saw in you. But now this took it to a whole new level. And I'm so happy I got to know you even more. I hope that we can do this again. If anybody wants to give feedback, who knows, when we put the link up, I'm going to ask them if you'd like to see more people showcased that are quiet in the background doing their own thing. Maybe we can keep bringing all these other 120,000 people that are not loud enough with the pom-poms to be showcased. I think everybody deserves a chance, because we all have amazing stories. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. And
I just want to say one thing before you guys go. Could you guys add me on Facebook, because
Absolutely. Definitely.
just as long as you didn't throw up your sign up link here, it's okay.
No problem. because I just want to add you guys and stuff before we go, because because I do Google Hangouts every day, so you guys are invited anytime you guys want to come in.
Okay, I am going to put myself out there. I will do any Google Hangout anybody asks me to do. I will not say no. End of the story.
Yeah.
Do this.
And I'm thinking that every Monday I can put out a Facebook post and say who would like to be showcased, 5 people, and we could be the opening act to the Empower Hour, because what a better time slot. It's prime time.
Yeah.
To get ourselves out there. And one more point. Whoever's watching this, nobody heard a link put up, nobody heard a sale, nobody heard a pitch. We're talking about a different spiritual thing that has happened to us as people and as a family together. And if you want what we have, you know what you got to do. That's all I'm saying. And you can figure that part out. So thank you, Cara, Karen, Krista, Melissa, I'm sorry, Francois. Is that right?
Yeah, you call me Steve. Is that right? No problem.
Steve.
Thanks,
Travis, which I missed. I want to thank you all very much. Thank you so much for coming in at the last minute and saving my weenie, my tushy. What? Not my weenie. What does Diane Hoffman call it? She doesn't say badass. She calls it a naughty tushy. That's what I meant. Naughty tushy. Weenie.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Okay, so on that event, we're gonna close. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Inviting.
Bye, everybody.